Hey guys, Jonah here, back with a beer review, and we're doing another one from Taiwan, and it's in the same city, which is cool, but they all are. Taipei, this is a brewery called Taihu, which is that one, I believe. Whoops, got this weird sort of thing that looks a bit like a dauber. I don't know, yeah, Taihu, there you go. No, is a dauber, it's an actual tiger. So maybe Taihu is Taihu the tiger. We have another write-up, which is cool. I'm glad they're doing more of these. And this is by the lovely Robin Gilmore once again. So I would highly recommend, as I tuck it away, reading that, because it's quite an interesting read, that one. Unlike yesterday, there's not much going on here apart from it says IPA, and then IPA apparently in Taiwanese it has more letters than 3 letters, which is kind of weird, or 3 kanji, I believe you call that. We look on the back, it's a 6% beer. It's Taihu IPA. Taihu are the brewery. It's obviously an IPA. We have got Citra, Cascade, and Simcoe, the trifecta, which seems to be, yeah, a lot in this kind of world of IPA. Yeah, we'll see what we get. So I guess, oh, it says it's an IPA, but as far as I can work out, had a bit, he says a bit of a gusher, and unfortunately my bandana is in the wash after last time. I'll have to do it the old-fashioned way and drink the beer, but yeah, so I'm going to give it some minus points for that. Look at that, it's really fizzing away. I need to get this in the glass, otherwise it's going to all end in tears and they'll be mine. Yes, what I was going to say was, it's an IPA, but the malts only seem to be Pilsner malt, which is bizarre, really. So it's a lager, really, with IPA style hops. What do you call it? A hopped lager. Got a finger's head here. But yes, 6% on the ABV. So that is very much within IPA distance. There we go, IPA. And that, dear viewer, will be, I hate it when I get all this on over my trousers. And it's been in the fridge, so yeah, that's getting marked down, I'm afraid. There is a haze to it, but it's not like new school cloud. Well, it is kind of a bit cloudy, but I can definitely see through there. Not much going on the nose. A bit of sweetness actually, which is interesting considering it's a 6% beer. You would have thought it would be a lot drier. I'm going to say this is although it's hazy, and that's no doubt from the Pilsner malt, I'm going to say this is more a kind of West Coast style. I know it doesn't have that real West Coast colour, but it is slightly darker than I'd expect from just Pilsner malt. We shall see what we get. Cheers and beers, dear viewers. It's a Saturday. It's going to be a good day. Or a good evening, I should say. Yeah, finishing very sweet. The Simcoe is giving that kind of that juiciness, but it's nice that it's in a drying light way as opposed to a creamy way. I am actually pretty glad that there's no wheat as such. I know Pilsen malt is kind of a wheaty malt, but no oats in there, because you're not getting that creamy thing going on. So you're just getting the straight juice. Oh, beg your pardon. Quite a good level of carbonation. There is a little bit of kind of micro dankness, which I usually get from the Citra. What was the other? Was it Citra? Simcoe Citra? Oh, it was Cascade, wasn't it? Interesting. I thought maybe Mosaic would have been involved, but it's Cascade, which is interesting because that kind of, for me, gives a little bit of greenness too. I'm just thinking about the fruitiness because although the Simcoe Juicy Orange thing is mainly the thing I'm tasting, there are some other kind of tropically type things in the background. And now that I know there's Cascade in there, I'm thinking there is a bit of peach. And I always seem to get a peachiness from Cascade. I'm not sure why that is, but yeah. And that sweetness I was getting on the nose, I think that's the peach from the Cascade as well, as opposed to the kind of oranginess that comes from the Simcoe. Interesting. This is something when you know what the hops are. I mean, sometimes, right, the beer says, Cascade beer or, whatever, Simcoe IPA. But sometimes when you look at what hops are in there after you've started drinking, I know it said it kind of, but I didn't see that Cascade didn't register in the old noggin, unfortunately. But as soon as I read that, I went, that's the fruit that I'm tasting. It's a peachy kind of thing. Yeah, really nice. And even though it's sweet going down, the finish is quite dry, which is nice. I like it. It's old school. This is old school pale ale style, as opposed to the new school creamy kind of one. Even though Neepers and stuff, proper Neepers from Vermont and all that kind of stuff, yeah, they're a bit more, they're a bit more juice, but as in hop juice. Oh, as in dank juice. This is weird. This is really cool. I'm liking this. This is definitely in the old school style, which is crazy considering it's from Taiwan. Um, Not that there's anything wrong with Taiwan, but I'm saying it's really interesting that they're doing kind of an old school West Coast-ish style, kind of, as opposed to a modern style. Fantastic. Is it superbly IBU-ish? Not really. I think there's probably quite a lot of hops in there, but it's not really bitter. Although, because there's a lot of residual sweetness in there, maybe they've upped the bitterness or they've upped the sweetness to counteract with the bitterness of the hops, which is clever. Um, it's nicely balanced, not only because of the malt versus the hop profile, but also the sweetness versus the bitterness is quite well balanced too, because that finish is quite nice, it's quite refreshing. I'm loving the fact they've used Cascade, and that peach thing is definitely a summer, or what I associate as a summer flavor. Um, yeah, peachiness is nice, like iced tea with lots of ice in it. Really, really good. I'm liking this beer a lot, and it's 6%, so it sits nicely in what I consider IPA territory. So fantastic beer. Hmm. Yeah, I'm liking that. A little bit kind of on the generic hop side, perhaps, but I could definitely pick out the hops. Um, there we go. That is IPA. Look at the can as well. T. What was it? T. Taihu IPA. Look at that. That looks like a nice kind of piece of pottery, Chinese pottery. Fantastic. I'm liking that a lot. Liking that can. Pretty damn good. Pleasantly surprised with that one. That one's going to get reasonable marks, I think. Better than the one I had the other day. This has been Unclejona, drinking beer purely for your entertainment, and hopefully you have been entertained. If you have, why not consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already, and definitely if you're in this far into the video, you must like it, so give me a thumbs up. Why don't you do that now? This has been Unclejona, taking care of business, and you know what's going to happen. I'm going to come back for more beer reviews, and they're going to be coming up real damn soon.